Hello, 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 everyone. Okay, we are back from our break, and joining us is our guest today. Miss Lauren Tiffany is in the building. Yeah, say hello, Lauren.
Hi.
She's looking so cute, y'all. If y'all watching the visuals on
I'm
YouTube,
trying.
you know what I'm saying? She getting a little sneak peek to her new line. Well, we'll get into that with what she's wearing and everything. Thank you so much for joining us today in the
No
Kimbology
problem.
streets. We appreciate
Thanks for
that.
having me.
Of course. You guys, me and Lauren go way back. We actually went to
Yes.
uni or college together. Is that correct?
Yes. Yes.
Girl, do you
The
remember those
college we
AI
don't like,
years?
but we went.
Girl, do you remember those AI times?
I do. I do. And I
Oh
still
my
keep in touch
God.
with quite a few people. So, yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah. I actually it's been really nice because the podcast has allowed me to kind of reconnect with everyone, like back from AI
Yes.
too. I had Joy on, she was from AI. I
I
had
saw Tiffany
Sabrina
was
on.
on here
Yeah,
too. Yeah.
Tiffany was
Yep.
on. Yeah. So I'm just kind of like, it's been nice to catch up with everyone and then also see what y'all doing. Like there's a lot of my friends that I went to college with that are doing dope shit, and that's you, like included in that.
Let's talk
So
about it. Like,
let's talk about
I
it.
mean, you
Yeah.
doing dope shit too. So we're not gonna
Girl,
knock that out.
I'm just trying to survive this fucking snow,
I feel you.
like this
I couldn't do
winter.
Snowmageddon.
Girl, I
It
mean,
messed
are
up
you
all my plans.
so if you guys are not in Chicago like we are, it snowed like, I don't know, like 2 feet or some bullshit, some fucking
Yeah,
bullshit. It
yeah.
snowed
It was up to our
boots outside.
butts.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. People are
Yeah.
standing out in the snow. It's like surrounding them and shit. It's like a hot mess. I'm worried because I have chickens outside and I've been fearing
Wow.
for their girl. I don't know. Girl, my mama got chickens and now I'm like, take care of them. And then like they're just in the
It's
back
winter.
freezing. Yeah, it's winter. Yeah, it's fucking winter. So pray for my chickens, y'all. But on another note, yeah, so just like our background, we both went to
Yes.
an art school together, private art
Mm-hmm.
school. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? Which, they still want the money for it, but they ain't gonna get it.
They
You know
ain't
what
getting it,
I'm
not for me.
saying? I know that's right, right? Girl, they listen, Biden, let's see if you really gonna come through and
Yeah,
forgive
no,
the
no.
student loan.
Maybe if they would have gave me Columbia education, they would get their money back.
Bitch, okay, listen,
Girl, I
okay.
can't.
Ask us. I mean, you're still in the industry, girl. I've kind of just like I've used some of the tools, but girl, I never use
Okay.
it. I use that degree just like a little bit. But like for real, like seriously, like we didn't get that education that we like,
No, no.
girl. Bye.
That I would pay them
But
for.
yeah, okay, like literally. Yeah. So, but we had some good times. We were both in the fashion
Yes, definitely.
design,
Yeah.
right? We were both doing our fashion
Mm-hmm.
design thing. And I think if I can remember, remind me, did you for your for our senior project, we had to like design a whole collection. Did you end up doing a bridal collection for
I
your
did.
senior?
I did
Okay,
Fire and
yes.
Ice. That
Yes.
was
And
like the
you
theme of it. It was bridal and
yes, and you did
lingerie.
bridal and
It was
lingerie.
mixed. Yeah, yeah.
Ah, okay. You made a
Because we were
wedding
with
dress, right?
Pam. I remember we were with Pam.
Yes, we were with Pam. Oh my God.
Yes.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
And you made a wedding dress, right? Like you
Yeah.
created,
I made two of
yeah.
them. Yeah.
You made
Yeah.
two of
And I
them.
ended
Yeah.
up putting them in Latino Fashion Week like a year or so after that.
Yes.
So yeah.
My girls doing things. Yeah, we actually, me and Lauren have a lot in common in that sense because we actually both have worked in the bridal industry. Her so more, I
Yes.
think longer than me, but I just have a little like I've experienced just working a little bit here in the States, and then I also worked in bridal overseas in Australia. So
Oh, you did? Okay.
I did, girl. Yeah, I
Okay.
actually ended up I got a job at like this bridal designer when I was living out there. So I was selling
Oh,
wedding
nice.
gowns and
Okay.
shit. Yeah, I'm gonna put some examples and some photos in the show in the visuals of me just,
Okay. Okay.
playing dress up, putting on all the
Yeah.
gowns. Because that's really
Because that's
honestly
what you do when you're in the bridal industry. You just
girl.
play dressed up most of the day.
You can see her knickers. Beautiful bride, Kimberly. Shake it, girl.
Right. Y'all wish
Shake
I was getting married. Play dress up, you put the gowns on, you're like, oh, this cute. Okay, you know what I'm saying? Maybe I can
That's
get married.
it.
You know what I'm saying? But let's talk about that. So like my experience with the bridal industry, girl, oh my God. Like it's definitely not for the faint-hearted, I would say. Like you do
No,
get
it's
your
not.
right. Like
It's not.
I
It's
had
pretty.
it's pretty. It's very pretty. But you deal with these crazy bridezillas. Did you have like a crazy bridezilla, like a crazy bridezilla story?
Countless. So there was one Well, it's not so much a bridezilla as much as it is. Well, yeah, it is. Because you try
I
to
was
be
like,
nice
girl,
about them and you find out, she was just a bitch in the end of
she
all of
was.
this. And so what happened was her grandmother left her a vintage Chanel wedding gown.
Oh,
Like
bitch.
vintage, like Chanel designed it before she passed
Oh,
away vintage.
what?
Yes. So young bride, she had to be about 28. And I was interning for Vera Wang at the time, Vera Wang and Bellevue Bridal Couture here in Chicago.
Okay.
And she mailed a vintage Chanel dress in a FedEx box, just threw it in a box and shipped it to the store and did not tell us.
What?
That dress was missing for weeks.
Oh my God.
We couldn't find it. It kept saying that we had received it. And I was the one who did all the shipping, like pulling it in. And I'm like, we never got a dress in a box.
Right.
Eventually, they ended up finding the dress on the back of like a UPS or a FedEx truck.
So it was lost.
Box.
It was lost
Yeah,
in
it was
trans.
lost.
Oh, wow.
And she was, I'm gonna sue. I mean, girl, went through this whole thing. It wasn't on me because I'm like, there's security cameras. I never received this box.
Right, girl.
They see me accepting boxes.
Right.
But she tried it. Number one, she tried it because I was Black. Well, who got the box? And then she was like, it was her. And I'm just like, there's cameras. So I wasn't fazed. I wasn't scared. Like, okay, girl, when we got this dress, Kim, she cut this dress up to take a piece of it to put in the front of her wedding gown.
What? Like what? Like she wanted to like alter it to cover?
She cut up her grandmother's vintage Chanel dress to get a square out of it, to put it on her wedding dress in the front of it. So her grandmother could be a part of her wedding.
So, okay. So she was going to wear a different dress.
Yes. She destroyed a vintage Chanel gown for a square of lace.
What the fuck? Where does she cut it at? Not that it matters. I'm just curious.
She cut it at the bodice because she wanted
the bodice
beading.
Too?
Yes. She wanted the beading that was in the top.
I'm hot right now.
On her bodice.
I'm hot. Like
gown. Yeah.
You guys, sorry, we're nerding out and like fashioning out right now, but like because we created gowns, me and Lauren. So like the bodice is literally like the part that's covering like titty and waist. Like she cut the most important part of the motherfucker.
There's like she can't wear it later. Like I would have said, she could turn that into a peplum and wear it with dress. No.
Oh my.
She cut the bodice.
Like I would say, if she cut on the bottom, like she could salvage it. She fucked that shit up.
She fucked it up. Like there was no other way around it.
Oh my God,
that dress was
ghetto. And then she want to blame y'all for it. I'm done. You guys,
if he was gonna do this, I would have left that dress lost.
Okay, you're like, just keep it lost, bitch, because you just embarrassed your whole entire lineage.
We're done here.
We're completely done. Damn, girl, that's a fucking story. Here, I thought you were gonna be like, we got this couture, like vintage Chanel gown.
No.
Oh my God.
She cut up something that I believe Chanel created with her team when her grandmother was younger.
Oh my God.
And it's gone. We threw it. I kept a piece. I don't know where it's at now. But they cut it up, and I was like, I don't understand why her grandmother gave her this dress.
No, I mean, her grandma clearly was probably like wanting her to wear it again.
The dress was stunning. It was fully beaded. Don't get me wrong.
Fully beaded,
but it was stunning
from head to toe. Like there
head to toe.
Oh, bitch!
But she wanted. It was heavy. It was like a champagne color.
Beautiful. Okay.
And she wanted a low cut dress with spaghetti straps, ball gown, empire waist. And a square of Chanel vintage in the front of it. So.
I'm laughing because I'm just like, the fucking audacity of this fucking like.
Let me tell you, my grandmother left me a Chanel that should still be in the car.
Okay, bitch, vintage Chanel, get the fuck out of here. Vintage. Well, that's just a testament of what the fuck we dealt with when it came to brides. My craziest story was in Australia. We had this bride, and when it comes to bridal, like I was like, we were selling the gowns and we were altering them in house, right?
Okay.
And so if they were too intense, we would ship them to Brisbane, which is up in North Australia, to like sew and do the major.
And bring
we
them
would do
back
all because we sew. You know what I'm saying? We actually sew. So like we would do the alterations. We would sell the gowns. So yeah, it was wild because we had a bride come in. and it was this, cute little like fit and flare number, and she wanted to add these cute little off the shoulder, the whole off the shoulder little sleeve thing.
That's their little sexiness.
Girl, everybody wants to add a little off the shoulder thing, but this bitch turned out to be like literally a bridezilla that like would not leave us. Like she literally wanted, like, she kept complaining when she sat down there was like wrinkles in the front, but it's like, honey boo, that's fabric.
That's the give in the fabric.
Do you not want to sit? Do you not want to sit down?
Wow.
Like she really wanted to be like this, like for like plastic, like Barbie, like that has this like gown that wouldn't move, and we made it as tight as we could.
What was she gonna do? Lay down?
Girl. And she kept saying like, all these wrinkles in the front. I'm like, you're sitting down, honey. That's gonna happen. I was like, I can't. And then she kept complaining about the shoulders. It's just like the unrealistic amounts of like I don't understand how women become brides and then they lose all sense of reality, realistic things like fabric wrinkling because you're sitting. Like, girl.
Here's my question: how much did she spend?
Her gown was a custom, so she bought the gown, which was one of the designers like line, but then she customized it a little bit to like what she wanted. So the homegirl ended up spending like, I want to say a good 7,000 with that.
Okay. That's not bad. Okay.
Yeah, 7,000 for it. But then again,
my biggest pet peeve is when they don't have money and they have the brides.
Oh yeah. And then they want like everything to work. Like they want it to be like, oh, well, why the fuck doesn't, like,
girl, you gave me $2.
Right, you give me $2, bitch. You want me to work miracles with $10? Like, I can't even do this on a big budget. You know what I'm saying? Because like the thing is, and the worst was when I had those brides that would be like, is there anything you can do with that back fat in the back of my, that, right here that you get that little, I'm like, sweetie, that little like pocket that you would get like underneath your armpit.
Yeah, it comes over.
Like, it comes over the gown. And I'd be like, girl, we can just, I didn't know what else to tell these girls, because I'm just like, that is not I can't help you guys. That's what you and the Lord. That's what you know. But anyways, we can talk all day about these bridal.
Yes.
Yeah, about like what happens to brides when when they get that rang and then they just lose their damn
I'm so
mind.
determined to not become one. When I do get engaged, I'm not gonna become one. I want to elope.
Like a big wedding? Do you want like
I want to get married in Vegas.
Bitch, me too. Okay, no.
I want to get married in Vegas with about 50 people, and that's it.
Girl, talk to all the, like, if you guys talk to people that worked in this industry, like, we are so against like the whole big like crazy hoopda now, because we fucking like worked in it so many years and we're just like, God, this is so fucking stupid. Like,
you're annoyed.
Yeah, like it's just too much. I dead ass want to elope.
It's easier ways to have an elegant small wedding without all the drama.
All the drama.
Yeah, that's like number one. No drama.
You get it, because we both worked in it. So I'm just like, I can't, you already know. Yeah, I want to elope. Like, if anything, like, I'm going to just be like, me, I love to travel. So I would love to go somewhere beautiful and just be, I don't even care if it's just me and my nigga. Like, I don't even care. Like,
and get married.
Like,
that's it.
And just get married. Because, like, at this point, you know what I'm saying?
I'm not mad at you for that one.
Girl. Because,
I could take a full ass wedding dress with just two of us.
Just two of us.
You want me to maybe change for dinner?
Okay, maybe get a little cute photographer to take some few, because like for me it'll be like the scenery, like being like Costa Rica somewhere or whatever. And that's it. You know what I'm saying? And then I have all these people complaining at my wedding, talking about the food, the drinks.
No, I don't have time for all
that. Fuck all y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Just like,
you get a cake to go. Here you go. I gotta go. It's honeymoon time. I don't know what to tell you.
Okay, listen, me and my nigga, the one that I actually am marrying, the reason why we're doing this. That's what I care about,
Yeah.
So
here go your cake. I don't know what to tell y'all.
But y'all be blessed if y'all are
engaged. I make it to the reception.
Okay. But no shade, because I have several family members and best friends that are getting married and that are engaged. So, you know what I'm saying? That's no shade to y'all, but that's just where I understand.
Wedding, but
do you, boo? Like,
do you?
My sister's getting married next year, and I'm like, oh Lord, like I just can't.
It's already like, what you want me to do? Like,
and then in a pandemic, it's like the fact that you can't even do shit anyways. But at the same time, it's like, I get it. You want to be.
You just want to do it,
whatever, do you, boo. But anyways, bitch, we could talk all day about this bullshit.
All day.
I brought Lauren on though because this bitch has always been so inspiring to me. Like, I love everything you stand for. And I love it because I feel like me and you have we've always been on our hustles. Like we're always doing some things. I don't never see this bitch sit down. Like she's always got something. Like she's always had a job, but she always got her own entrepreneur stuff happening simultaneously with that. So I respect you so much, girl, in that sense.
Thank you.
And even so, like I actually would volunteer and work for her with Lauren, like when she had her other company. And I wanted you to kind of introduce and tell us about that. So yeah, I actually really didn't even you haven't even let you introduce yourself and like what you do and like who you are. I got into all the bridal bullshit right away.
To the good stuff. Like
I was like, bitch, let's talk shit. Let's talk shit about this bridal shit. Now go ahead. Lauren, tell us who you are and why you're on the show today.
So I'm Lauren Tiffany. I am the owner and curator and designer of Scene Lingerie, which is a new curated curvy lingerie line dedicated to women and transgender women.
Yes.
So I'm size inclusive and gender inclusive. Okay. On top of that, I used to run a girls organization called Farfella Girl. I ran that for 15 years, retiring it in 2019 before taking this new adventure into fashion. So I'm here today to kind of share like my journey to get into where I am now from where I came from.
Amen, girl. That's right.
Yes.
Lauren's got such a story. I mean, like I always loved like what you like when you started Farfella Girls, like I just was like, girl, yes. Like basically, can you tell people like what exactly like why you started Farfella Girls? What is Farfella Girls? Like all that, and then leading into like your,
what I do now. Yeah. So I actually started Farfella Girl was an idea when I was 16. My mom sent me to Africa.
Yeah.
To live for like 2 months. I went to Johannesburg and then I went to Kwakwa, which is still in South Africa, and then Botswana. So we bounced between the three places. I went with a group Christian organization at the time called Teen Mania Ministry. So what they did was they sent like 3,000 teenagers a year across the world. Oh, wow. And I woke up one day and was like, Mom, I want to go with Teen Mania and I want to go to Africa. Now, being the only child, you got to know that was for her to hear that. She was like, what the fuck? What you gonna say?
You got a hoop dream?
My only child? And I said, but you can't go. And there's only like 2 or 3 adults with 30 something kids. So I'm going to send you across the country with other kids that I don't know, with adults I don't know. And I was like, that's the idea.
And your mama let you?
Yeah, eventually she gave in.
Damn,
because I
shout
used
out
my
to your
youth
mama
leader and my pastors. I know. Ooh. I used my youth pastors and my pastor to get to her. And finally she was like, okay, you can go. Okay. And I was like, yes. But when I went down there, we built schools, we built youth centers. We roughed it out. So it wasn't like I got to stay in hotels and stuff like that. Like we were sleeping outside in tents. We were sleeping in empty school buildings. We had to dig a hole in the ground for the bathroom in certain places.
Yes. Ooh, you were really living it.
It was real. Yeah.
Yes. I love that.
And we lived among the people. And so like you would go into people's houses, you could not turn away food. Like there were certain rules that this group gave you out of respect. You had to dress a certain way out of respect for their values. We couldn't be all American. Right. mini shorts and stuff going into their houses and things like that. Right. And I think the idea for Farfella came one day. We were all, now there was 20 something kids or 30 something kids. I was the only Black girl.
Wow, really?
They were all white except for one Black boy. He was mixed. He was white and Black, but everybody else was white. I was the only like African American. Like I'm
damn girl.
To get on a plane full of white people.
Yeah, your mama though. Shout out to her.
I know and it was like $5,000 to go. My mom came up with 3 and the church raised the 2. So
damn girl. How old were you again? 16?
16.
How long were you 16. There for?
2 months. So I left in June. I came back in August. Wow. I came back the end of August.
That's amazing. And to experience that at 16,
yes.
girl,
so
that
like
really built you,
it was eye-opening. Yeah, it did. I never one of the dopest memories I have, I don't share this with a lot of people, was we were playing with kids and it started raining outside. And we were climbing up a mountain and I kept seeing blood trickle down in the water. So when we got to the top, I asked the translator, like, what's the blood? Like every time we were walking behind the kids, what's the blood? And he's like, oh, they don't own shoes. Some of them don't own shoes, or they give their shoes to their younger siblings. But the Americans are here, so they want to come and play with you all. So their feet sometimes get cut up on the rocks.
Oh my God.
And we were forbidden. We couldn't give them anything. And I understood, because they were like, if you give one, you got to give all.
Right.
So that broke my heart. So when I came back home, I had never asked my mom for another pair of expensive shoes or gym shoes. I have never owned a pair of Jordans in my life.
Oh.
Because I didn't see the need for them after having that experience.
Wow, girl.
And so it was eye-opening. Yeah, it was humbling. It was eye-opening. And at the same time, on that very mountain, that mountain overlooked Mandela's house.
Shut up!
Which was
amazing.
Dope. Yeah. So we got to see where he lived once upon a time. And it's like something, I was sitting there one day and one of our leaders said, well, what do you want to do, with your life? And I was like, well, I want to change the world. Do you know that white hoe looked at me and told me, you're not going to be able to do that.
What?
And it was like, it had to be like 10 of us sitting around in a group. We were just kind of meditating on the mountaintop. Mm-hmm. And she looked at me and said that really loud. You're not going to be able to do that.
I can't believe that. Who was this white woman? Was she like
she was one of the leaders
in the church?
Yeah, in the
the fucking caucasity.
Yes.
Oh,
and what happened? There was a 14-year-old boy named Caleb. I think he still lives in Denver. I lost touch with him. Mm-hmm. But he was 14. He stood up and he told her, who are you to tell her that she can't change the world? And I was like, see, white boy has come to my defense. This is fucking ridiculous. You know what? Mm-hmm. And after that, I hung with Caleb the whole time.
Okay, yes.
I was like Caleb. Big sister to him. We kicking it now.
Okay.
Eventually, she had to come back and apologize to me.
She sure the fuck did.
She did. Sure because they told the other leaders and stuff like that what she had said. And from that moment on, I was like, I know what I want to do. I'm going to go home and I'm going to see how I can make that happen. It didn't happen. I didn't build the girls' organization until I was 19. Because I was still in school. I was still living life. Yeah, I started at 19.
I remember that vaguely because I also remember that you had was it you that had to deal with some bullshit that the school tried to give you, that you owed all this money when you were trying to get your fucking transcript? Was that right?
Yes.
And then you couldn't. You told me that shit.
They won't give me diploma or Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I remember that.
And that's when I told you that whole, like, where I came from and all that.
Yes. Yeah. And I was like, bitch, what?
But at the time I went to school with you, I was already 20. I was an older student. I was 26 when I started.
You were a bit older,
school.
Yes.
I was 24, yeah.
And I remember you were working too. You had like a full-time job. All of us had our little
Bear Wayne internship. So.
Yes, girl. I'm telling you, Lauren, you guys, Lauren has always been that hustle bitch. And I always was like, this bitch is, that's why I always looked up to you. I was like, yes, look at her. Like, and then she doing it. And she's like, girl. But as black women too, it's like, there's always this sense of like, we already know in a sense of like in America how, and this is just kind of like also like kind of reminds me too, just like with me and my my current job too. It's just like, we always know, right, where we stand in our jobs, right? Like when it comes to like, say a white person doing the job, doing maybe the same thing you're doing, right? But if that white person starts to like slack off or just get real comfortable and just do their thing, they're allowed that, right? Yeah, like they're allowed. We're not, right? Yeah. Because if we ever decide that, we're an equal playing field, let me just slack off a little bit too, let me get comfortable, they will put you in your motherfucking place so quick,
real fast,
real fast. and like it irks me to this day, even with my current job. It's like, but I have to remind myself, like, girl, you know where you know who you are, you know the rules of this.
It's not new to us.
You're just gonna, and it sucks. It sucks that we have to know that as black women that we are working in the same playing field. We could be the same level, like this, like
same title.
This white man next to me, same position and everything. Yeah. But can slack off and be okay with that.
And you get
nobody.
Get side out because you called off with COVID or something. I don't know, like.
And it's totally fine. But if I were to do that, girl, bitch. Watch me lose my job so quick. They find an excuse. You
They'll
know,
replace you in a
like,
heartbeat.
right. And that's something that I always think that you were always just like, you know what? This is a place that and then the fact that you had that when you were 16 going to Africa, seeing that firsthand, you were like, lazy who? I've seen people that had no shoes bleating walking
and
around
played and still walked for miles to come kick it with us.
Right.
Like, nah, that's dead. I gotta get up.
So you were just like, no, we're not gonna do this.
Yes.
I'm gonna work. I'm gonna intern Rivera Wang, work my full time, go to school full time. Like, you were a beast.
Do it all,
bitch.
yeah.
You were a beast,
Do it
and you
all.
still are. You still are to
Thank
this
you.
day.
I try.
So
You know?
yeah, girl. Yeah, I
From
mean,
one
like
beast to the other,
girl, and that's why, like, whenever, like, I remember, like, we went to college or whatever, and you started Far Fellow Girls, and then, like, you know, I moved away. You know, I was backpacking. I was being a hippie. I was being a nomadic bitch. You know, nomadic nympho, whatever you want to call it.
Let me tell you, that inspired me so much because I remember inviting you to an art show.
Yes.
And I remember you were in a situationship at the time, and you were like, "Can I ask you a question?" And I was like, "Yeah." You were like, "I haven't seen the world, and I don't want to commit to something, and I haven't seen the world." And I was like, "Well, shit, just pack your bags and go." And then a month later, you sent me a text like, "I'm moving to Australia." What the fuck? Wait a minute.
Damn, girl, I forgot that. Yes,
I remember. It was like 1:00 in the morning. We're standing outside that apartment. Yeah. And you shared your heart with me. And I was like, shit, go. What's stopping you?
Right. Because I valued your opinion. I did. I was like, you know what, girl? Like, she's, you always had that initiative. And then you have Far Fellow Girls, like you have, and what Far Fellow Girl stood meant to you was so important, and so, like, whenever I had a free time to give, or like whenever I remember I would hit you up. I came back to the States and I was like, do you need me to like work for you? Is there any sort of like, I was like, is there any sort of like volunteering I can do? And I always meant that, and I still do, because I always believed in whatever you were doing, because I always thought you were doing it for the people, for the world.
It was never for me. Yeah.
You were not selfish about it. Yeah. And you were doing it for your girls. So, like, what I thought was beautiful. And then I'm sure, you can give us the I can't even speak English.
Specifics.
Thank you, baby. Thank you. Okay. Lord, I smoked it out. I'm a little high. You know what I mean?
We comfortable by
We comfortable here. Where your wine at? Where your wine at?
I got it in this little cup because I don't want to drop it.
Yeah.
I'm clumsy.
Respect.
And hit it.
Respect. She's like, no, I'm not gonna spill my wine.
I'm not gonna drop it. I'm gonna spill it. Not here.
No, but for real though, like, your girls would be in, like, they were young girls, right?
Yeah.
So they were young girls.
They were between the ages of 12 to, I'll say, 22.
12 to 22.
Yeah.
And some of these girls would come from very, unfortunate, storylines, backgrounds.
Yes.
I mean, and what would you do for these girls, like, that had, and what would these stories that you would come and like take over and help them with? Like,
Far Fellow was an empathy awareness, confidence building, and a healing program. I kind of called myself like an unauthorized life coach. I didn't go to school for it. I just kind of had experience in guiding youth. Because being a teenager myself and starting something with teenagers was very eye-opening for a lot of people. And so, but the girls loved it because they were like, wait, she's not that far from our age. So she gets the struggle. She really understands. Now, I've never been sexually assaulted. I've never been abused or anything like that. I was blessed to have a single parent who kind of sheltered me. But still gave me enough room to experience reality around me. So I didn't grow up naive to the world. I knew what existed because my mom is just a realist, but I didn't put myself in positions because she kept me busy. My mom kept me busy. If I wanted to do fashion, nails, modeling, go to Africa, okay, go. So I didn't have time. And so when I got these girls, it was so many experiences. The first class was majority Latino girls, a few Black girls. I started the program because of one Black girl who is now one of my best friends. Her name is Jaquita. She unfortunately had been through very bad sexual assault when she was 13, and she had a child because of it.
Oh my God.
When she was 12.
She
had a child, 12. She had a child because of it. She chose to keep the child. He is now a 19-year-old thriving Black boy and loves on his mom and his little sister. And at the time I met her, she was going back through court because this guy who had done this to her, he got 40 years in prison.
Okay.
And he was suing her for paternity, like to say
Get
he
the
wasn't.
fuck out of
Yes.
here.
And I remember her going through that. And her mom was like, she shut down. She won't talk to anybody. But for some reason, my daughter likes you.
Oh.
And so I remember going to her and I said, hey, do you mind if we gather with a bunch of other girls and we do this for like 22 Saturdays?
Hey.
And she was like, and she went to the same church and she was like, yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
And so I gathered 21 girls in my mom's basement apartment in Humboldt Park, because that's where I was raised. And we, for 22 weeks, 22 Saturdays, we talked about life and we cried and we healed and we shared experiences. I think the most effective healing that a person can have, especially a woman or girl, is to know that they're not alone.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the only way that the healing can be as deep as you need it to be, because someone else is holding your hand while you're going through that healing.
Right.
Someone else is there to say, hey, I've been through it, or hey, I just have empathy for you going through this. Right. And so for a lot of the situations that these girls went through, I didn't go through what Jaquita went through, but I held her hand.
Right.
I cried with her. I made her laugh. I let her scream. I let her curse. I let her get all the frustrations out, because that was important. And sometimes your parents can't be that for you.
Right.
You need someone else or other people in your life that you can kind of lean on. Because mom is mom and dad is dad. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes what you need from them, they can't give you, because they're going to kick into parent mode, versus at that time, maybe you need a therapist. Maybe you need someone that's not attached to the problem at all to talk you through it. And so for the girls, I was sort of like a therapist. I was someone that didn't know their story. So I couldn't look at them and say, you're lying about your story. No, I look at them and say, well, let's talk about it. What's going on? Why you feel this way? Or why did you try to cut yourself, kill yourself, and things like that? One of the life-changing stories for me was, there was a young girl. I was in Ace Tech High School. I went into CPS right after we finished school.
Okay.
And that's when I rebooted. That's when it became Farfella Girl, because I originally called it Straight Modest. So by the time you met me, it was Farfella Girl. Yes. I was creating Farfella Girl at the time. I was rebranding.
Okay.
And so I went to this high school and there were about 22 girls. They wanted to take the class. I was like, yeah, but there was a 23rd girl that wanted to take the class. And my friend Katie, who was the counselor at the school, that's how I got in. She was like, hey, can I talk to you? And I was like, sure. She's like, so there's a 23rd girl that wants to take the class. And I was like, okay, well, send her. She goes, well, here's the thing. She wasn't born a girl.
Okay.
I said, oh, well, this is new for me. Like, this, okay. And first of all, it's my first time in schools.
Yeah.
My first time with a group of Black girls, because I was at a Black school. So there were no Hispanic girls in this class, no white girls, just me, a bunch of me's, like a bunch of girls that look like me in a class. And I said, well, if the girls are cool with it, I'm cool with it. And I remember walking to that classroom and the girls was like, so Diamond wants to take the class. I mean, attitude right off the bat. They didn't even know me. Diamond wants to take the class. There's always a one self-appointed leader of the group. Girl. Diamond wants to take the class. And if you don't let her, none of us are taking it. And I was like, well, I already talked to Miss Common and Diamond's going to be in the class.
Relax.
And so
it's like,
don't come at me, little
okay.
Girl.
We're always in a state of, we just always in a state of like, let me just protect myself.
Yes. See, I'm an adult, but I could go there too. We can do this all day. I'm not a teacher. CPS don't pay me. And this program is free. The school was not paying me to be there.
Right. You were doing this out of the goodness of your own fucking heart.
Yes. I was giving money instead of getting money.
Yes, you were. Yes.
And so when she came into the class, she was nervous at first because some of the girls liked her, some of the girls didn't. Because I think, lack of knowledge, ignorance, that plays a role.
What year was this? If you were like
about 2014.
Right. And we were still, I would say like the wokeness of the collective mind we haven't really reached there.
No, not at all. No, no.
Right.
So for her, like the principal didn't want her in my program. Like teachers didn't understand it. But I was the type of person that I wanted to be a voice for a group of people that didn't have a voice. And if she doesn't have a voice, then guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to speak up for her.
There you go.
That's it.
There you go.
And so I got every girl out of that school. Every girl got a diploma. Yes. No girl dropped out.
Yes.
Only 1 out of 22 became a teenage mom.
Okay.
Everyone else waited until they were like 21, 22 to have their first kids.
Okay.
So the success rate of the program was life-changing. It was proof that if you invest in a young mind, you can change the outcome for them. That's and so what beautiful. They thought they would walk into, they don't have to.
Yeah. That's so beautiful.
And so Diamond now, she's successful. She lives up north, I think in Rogers Park. She finally got like the hormone, like we helped her get to that hormonal phase, and I've supported her through the whole situation. She's now, I think, 23.
Okay.
And so she's doing the transition. She's slowly doing it. Yeah. Okay. So she's on the estrogen right now. She's stunning. Stunning. I wish
get a Diamond. Shout out to you, girl.
She's killing it. Okay. But we ran into so many things, and I think for me it was a reality check. Even though I was raised in a realist house, to actually have to be in the world and see people discriminated on simply because they're choosing to walk a different way in life, and it was kind of like, what the fuck? That don't even make sense to me.
Right.
I be out here hoeing in the streets and y'all don't love me no less.
So okay.
I mean, let's be honest.
I mean, for real. I mean, so like, I'm trying to think of that one event that I volunteered with you and I thought was so beautiful. There was like, it was in an event that I remember I was setting up decorations with Egypt. I remember me and Egypt was working for you. And
was it when it was like they were spending the whole day to cry and stuff?
Girl, what event was it not where they were spending all the day to cry?
We always cried. Okay?
I know. I was like, girl, isn't that like
for those people out
the
there?
Whole
cry.
thing?
If you gotta cry.
I remember there was an auditorium.
Okay.
Oh, if I'm right.
I've had quite a few of them.
Yes.
I think I know what you're talking about though.
And I had to I remember I helped with decorations and giving out the gift bags. And I do remember the girls. Bless their hearts.
It was at Columbia College.
Yes. It's coming back to me now.
It was the Columbia College like the one-day conference, and I had like 4 or 5 different speakers.
Yes. You had speakers.
And we had like a cereal bar and all that stuff.
Yes. You had like little like activities for them and stuff. Yeah. So cute. Yes. And I remember that. I just remember the girls coming in and just like, and yes, and from when I was like helping you out, like I remember there was a lot of black women, a lot of black girls, sorry. Yep. A lot of black young girls. And I would just remember some of them were quite timid. Some of them were quite reserved. Some of them are very, like you said, like very loud and very boisterous. Yeah. We got the Cardi B's and what is all this? What is, and it's just like, I see that all, it's like just all the different types of personalities and just like, but I saw the joy in their face.
And they all meshed so well. They all like were one happy family.
Yes. And I just like looked at them and I was just like, oh my God. I'm like, I was so happy to be there to help in any way. And I was just like, oh God, my homegirl is doing it. Like, and I remember like hearing the speakers and then like, I think you were giving out like awards for some of them too and things. Yeah. It was really, really special. And so
every time they came out of a room, somebody was crying. Everybody was immersed. Because I remember somebody saying, why are they coming out with like red eyes? Oh, they're healing.
They're healing. Yeah. And that's so important. That's so you created a safe space.
Yes.
For young women of color to just be honest, and share. And at that time, it's so important, right? It's so important because, there's so many times in our lives as like, women of color growing up or people of color in general, like we just don't feel safe. We don't feel like we can share.
Or you don't have anyone to talk to.
You don't have anyone to talk to. You feel like what you're going through is like, you're the only one going through it. And I just remember being there and just seeing the joy and just like, just seeing how happy they were. And then like, and you were just doing this all like, y'all, she didn't get paid in a sense. Like this was all for,
never made money from it.
This was just her, creating this safe haven for these young girls.
15 years.
For 15 years. And I volunteered and I did all I could for like whenever I saw, when I could because I loved what you were doing, and I so wanted this to get funded. I so wanted you to make money from this.
I did
I
too.
so wanted this for you. So
Yeah.
do you now? You said Farfella Girls is no longer, you're no longer running it right now.
No.
But is there possibly a future for Farfella Girl?
No, not unless a girl wants it.
Okay.
I would happily give it to them. I had just reached a point of burnout.
Yes.
So what people don't realize is you do this for 15 years. The stories I've had to hear from sexual abuse to physical abuse to abandonment to homelessness to coming out the closet to, just the various things that I have 15 years worth of secrets from over 500 girls.
Ooh, girl. You're carrying
and
all
I can
that.
name almost all of them by name. If I, even if I saw them, or I can name them, I know who they are. They're getting married, having kids, girlfriends, boyfriends, and all that stuff. And it came to a point in, I'll say 2017, I started to lose joy. And I think it was partly because of the lack of funding.
Right.
And then 2, it was, although I had a lot of volunteers that would come around me to help, the girls only trusted me.
Right.
So although they would give you all a little bit and they'll cry with you, I had to take on all of the heavy burden part of them.
Yeah.
So although you would be at an event and you would see them crying and they'll come to you and hug you and say, I just feel like no one loves me, I had to hear why no one loved them.
Yeah, girl.
And so it was just so heavy after a while that it drove me, by 2019, it drove me to counseling.
Girl.
Because at this point I was empty and I was pouring from an empty cup. I didn't have anything else to give.
Yes.
And so, no, actually 2018, I ended up having to get a counselor. So I did counseling from 2018 to 2019. And I had to get out of my heart and my mind all the things because I wanted to save every girl.
Yeah.
I wanted to save them all. And I did an interview not so long ago and I was like, if I could be the old lady in the shoe with 25,000 kids, like that would be me. Like, these are all my daughters.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get them all to school and everything. I would have done that. But my mom, who was the driving force behind me, she would constantly remind me, you can't save everybody. You can try, but you can't. It's just not humanly possible. And so I started to just give the girls the tools they would need to go through life.
Okay.
So what I would do was I wouldn't try to save them. I would just try to prepare them, embrace them.
Right.
Because life is going to get shitty sometimes.
Whew,
and as long as you have the tools to get out of that darkness, you good.
You good.
Amen. But you're going to see some darkness.
Amen. Yeah.
You're going to see it. You're not exempt from it. You're going to see some bad days. Girl. And so after a while, I just was like, I went to counseling. And the one thing the counselor asked me is, what was I doing for me? And I could not answer the question.
Oh, Lauren.
I had spent 15 years putting these girls first, where I wasn't really dating. I would sometimes have a booty call or whatever, or sometimes hang out. I had boyfriends here or there, but I had men who didn't understand, or I had to be careful about men because of what the girls have been through. So I couldn't just bring any nigga around these girls.
Right.
Because I don't know if you got pedo vibes or not until I put you in a room with them. You know what I'm saying?
Girl.
You cool with me, but you ain't have to be around a bunch of 15-year-olds twerking. Now let's see how you really are.
No. Right. You don't need to see all that.
Yeah, let's see how you really are. So I didn't take I put a lot of things on hold. And I have no regrets about it because those girls at that time, for those 15 years, they needed me.
Yes.
And so I missed a lot of things, but I don't count it as missed opportunities because those opportunities came back around.
Right. And it's
they weren't meant for me.
Right. And it kind of guided you into your current role now as as the curator and owner of Scene. And that's amazing. Like, so now going into that, transitioning into your next endeavor. Yeah. So tell us how that led you to Scene. So Scene, exactly. Tell us what Scene is.
I went from Farfella Girl, and then I started working at a plus size store called Eloquy, which is a major plus size brand.
Okay.
That a lot of plus size influencers love. And I hate the word plus size. Like, just call us curvy because we got a little extra curves, and that's okay. We got food.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
And so I worked for them for about 2.5 years, and then on January 2nd of 2020, they told us, "Well, we're closing this store, and you all are losing your job." at the start of 2020.
Oh, bitch.
They could have told me this shit before Christmas when I spent all that money.
Yeah.
They waited to tell us the day after New Year.
Oh my God. And then we had the pandemic shortly after.
And then the pandemic hit by around March 14th. We shut down in the city.
Right,
but I had already gotten on unemployment. So that I was on
God.
unemployment not because of COVID.
Right, right.
And then by July, my friend owns a bridal shop up in Wicker Park. It's called Belle Atelier. It's a beautiful showroom. And she carries, she carries a lot of high-end designers. And so I was like, I told my friend who used to work with me at Eloquy, like, let's go volunteer at Giselle's place and just, you know, we get our unemployment, but we could work with her, you know, and for free and just help her. And so she loved it. She was like, come on, let's do it. And I used to, her mom's name is Sohaila. She used to run the dress doctor. So when I had to intern for Vera Wang and stuff, I would have to take dresses to her mom.
Oh,
so life kind of made a full circle where I was an intern dealing with her mom, and now she and I are great friends, and she became my fashion mentor.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah. So in July, in about June, we started volunteering. By July, I was like, I know what I want to do. And her and my friend Louise were like, well, what do you want to do? I was like, I think I want to do the lingerie thing. I think I want to give my all to it. Giselle, she's always game for anything. She was like, let's do it.
Okay. And
she was like, let's plan it. And I'll even carry your bridal collection here in my store. And I was like, oh,
yes, bitch.
It was an idea in August. And then it launched January 20th. So I literally built this in the under 6 months.
Girl, I was going to say, because I just feel like Scene just popped up. You started posting things about Scene. I was like, okay. Yes, and it's cute, y'all. It is cute. Like, her lingerie line is so cute and so inclusive. And then she's, you know, she's supporting all us curvy girls. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
like, all that quarantine weight, y'all. Don't worry about it. Lauren's gonna take care of y'all.
Just tuck that in. You good?
Okay. She got all the lacy shit too. That looks sexy. Look at her now. If y'all watching the visuals, she got the girls out. She got that lace on. You see?
Okay.
You see her? Okay. So she's looking out for us.
It led me to that point. And Giselle has been like, I call her my sensei, and her shop is my dojo because she guided me. She worked for major designers.
Wow.
And she worked in New York. And so she kind of took her knowledge and she was like, I've always wanted to build like a brand from the ground up. Like, she just has a bridal boutique where she carries dresses.
Okay.
She was like, I want to help you build a brand from the ground up because I want to know what it's like.
Look at that.
And so she has been holding my hand every step of the way, from picking the pieces to manufacturers to going out to wholesale, all this stuff. Even the first photo shoot, she helped me bring it together.
Oh, beautiful.
With an amazing photographer. And we had like 3 makeup artists and my 5 models. All the models were my friends.
Yes. I saw like, Kira in there. Hey, Kira.
Yes.
Yeah.
I need a favor from all of y'all. I need y'all to be the face of Scene and get naked. And so they were like, wait, what? Yeah. We're going to see your nipples, your booty cheeks, all that stuff. So we just won't see the girl. She'll be covered at all times as much as we can cover her. And so they were all game, and they all came in there. And that first photo shoot, I didn't even announce it to the world yet because I did at the time of the first photo shoot, my grandma had just passed.
Oh, yes, I remember that.
Yes, my grandma had just passed.
Was it COVID related?
No, she was just 91 years old.
Okay. So she lived her life.
She just got old. Yeah, she just got old, and she was like, I'm ready.
Yeah.
And she died on her own terms. When she was ready to go, she was like, I'm ready to go. And she left.
All right.
And I was like, well, first of all, I want to die like that.
You know?
I want to be like, I'm ready.
You know? I'm ready.
Like,
okay. Well, I'm happy to hear that.
90-something years, and I'm good. So it wasn't COVID.
Yeah. Okay.
And so I had a photo shoot. My very first photo shoot was 2 days after her funeral.
Girl.
So my mom, she loved that I had it because it was her mom. So it kind of kept her mind off of it. Because I had to switch gears. We had to go from funeral. When we left the funeral, we had to go get the jewelry, the shoes, pick up the steamer,
flowers,
drop the clothes off, get the florist, all this stuff. And our grieving was in that process, basically.
Okay. And everybody grieves differently.
Yeah, it was within that process. So when I finally got to the photo shoot and it was halfway through it,
Yeah.
I stopped to thank everybody as they were getting their makeups done again. And then I just started crying because it was my grandmother who opened me up to fashion. She was a seamstress, all of my aunts in my mom's life and my life. And so she was the first one to teach me how to thread a needle and all that stuff. And so it was like, once upon a time, she wanted to be a designer, but because of the way the world is stupid and racist sometimes,
okay, girl,
you know, it wasn't easy for everyone to have that opportunity that was of color. Right. And she was raising like 7 kids.
Oh, bless her heart. She was
on top
busy.
of that, so
she
had to do what she had to do. You know what I'm saying? And I reached the dream that she and my aunt that passed away have always wanted, to own a brand and design. And I do have design pieces that are coming out in spring, but it was just I felt like I had accomplished something with Farfella, but for the first time I did something for me.
Very good.
And that made a difference.
Yes, because you don't do nothing for you, Lauren.
No. Now I'm out here trying to get dick and stuff. Like now, now I'm out here trying to, do stuff for me.
Okay. Hashtag this is for me. This dick is for me, y'all.
It's for me.
Well, yes. Shout out to you, girl. You better get that. You better get dick down with all these years you done given back.
Hello.
Okay, you deserve it more than anybody.
I got one little crush that I like right now, and I'm just like,
shout out to you. Where you
can
at?
we make this consistent and whatever? I know you be in your head. You going through. I made you get together, okay? Because I put off 15 years of this.
Girl,
and then
yes,
when I
you
met
did.
him, I was still doing Farfella.
Oh,
and
really?
so I was just not available to do anything. And then we reconnected like a year or so ago. We did our thing for about a year. We didn't date, but we did our thing.
Okay.
And then we recently reconnected. And I'm like, okay, I ain't got time now. So we're going to have to... It's going to have to be consistent on the schedule.
Right. I need a scheduled dick.
What days are you free?
I need to put the Zoom date of the dick, please, in there. Thank you.
The dick planner. I mean, what are we doing?
Yes, Lori. Yes. You better schedule that dick, girl. You better put that on your calendar, okay?
And so now I'm doing things for me, and that feels good. And the girls are so supportive. They call to check on me now. It's like the roles have reversed.
Cute.
So now they call and they're like, "How you doing?" And they'll call and pray for me or encourage me, or can I come spend the night and stuff like that. So that they've grown up, they've matured, and now they see like our mentor is trying to live her life. So let's support her like she's done for us all these years.
Love that.
So it made a full
you have a relationship still with the girls.
I do. Yeah.
Amazing.
And one thing when I started at 19, the first thing I told them is this would be a forever connection, not a forever program, but I will always be in your life. I am always available to you until I take my last breath. And they all take that seriously. So I have girls that I haven't talked to in like 5 years, and they'll pop up and be like, Miss Tiffany, I got engaged, but now I don't want to be engaged. It's like, oh, okay, catch me up. What's in place? Like,
what's up, girl? You pull out your notepad. What's going on?
What happened?
You go into coaching mode again.
Yeah, let me switch gears. Yeah.
Right. Well, Lauren, that is like, your story is so inspiring. I'm sure all my listeners are just sitting there like, this bitch is out here doing it for the people.
Too much.
She do too much, y'all. She deserved his dick. All right. You better go ahead and get that. Period. Okay. And I'm so happy to hear like how Scene came about. Like, it has such an amazing story, because I actually didn't know like how how Scene got about going things on, because like I said, guys, like me and Lauren know each other for years, but we've kind of just been doing our own thing. I would catch up with you on social media and things like that. And and then I was
low key though.
What was that?
I kept it so low key.
You did.
I didn't tell anyone until like a week before it launched.
You did, because like I remember at one point, you announced that that Farfella Girls was
ending.
Was ending, and I was like, oh girl, I was sad to see that, because I was always ready and willing whenever you had some things going on.
Well, what is she gonna do now?
Yeah. I was generally like, because I know your ass can't sit down, because I just know you can't sit down. And then when you busted out with Scene and you announced your debut, I was like, yes, I was so excited, and this line is sexy. And then if you guys watch the visuals, I'm gonna be putting some photos photos in the visuals.
Yes,
You guys
yes.
can see for the photos from the photo shoot that she did. Yeah, it's beautiful. It's beautiful, guys. And like, yeah, it's just it just pays homage to just like the bodies of all sizes.
Yes,
You know, like
yes.
beauty and sexiness is just not a Victoria's Secret model that's just sticky.
No, it's
like
no.
a Kardashian.
I
You know what I'm
recently
saying?
saw,
Like,
yes, the Kardashian do the Skims with the panty.
oh,
and I was
bitch.
like, where's her vagina fat? Like, what? Where's the fat between her thighs? Why
Okay.
she don't have a stomach? Like,
you know, and the thing is, it's like I'm so tired of seeing. And then, you know, I was actually like back in the day, girl, when we went to school. Remember how I would live for the Victoria's Secret fashion shows. I would live.
Yes.
Girl, we would live, right?
God.
We would watch them at school. I remember we would be. Girl, we would be.
And we would come and talk about it too.
Girl,
did you see blah blah blah? And it wasn't about the performance. It was literally about the creativity.
Oh, I lived
behind the collection.
I was not knowing though, seeing that though, and like it's like totally like programming us, right? Because we would see the models that come out wearing these garments.
This is beauty.
And it'd be the same bitch, different hair, maybe. You know what I'm saying? It was maybe towards the end they started throwing some Asian bitches, and then they would throw an African bitch in there every now and then. But it was the same thick, skinny bitch, and I was just like, seeing
maybe with a pregnancy belly.
Right.
That's the only fat we ever saw because they was pregnant.
Was right. And they were still just like skinny and then baby.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Right.
That's it.
And I was tired of it. I was like, you know, and it's just like I was so happy actually when they announced that they're no longer doing
it was a waste of time.
Like, yeah, the shows anymore. And then, you know, Rihanna came out with Fenty and Savage Fenty, and I was happy to see at least some different shapes and you know, just inclusivity, and just like I was like, this is so refreshing, and this is like where things need to go. This is like this is what we need to see. Like, I'm tired of these young girls, like the girls, you know, like you're like the girls you're mentoring, like seeing the same bitch over and over again, you know, and then we see all these
thinking that's the standard, and that's not the standard.
And if you don't look like this
fucking standard,
girl, and if you don't look like it, then you're not beautiful. Or you need to go see Dr. Miami and fix it. So you can look like that.
No.
And I just think that's such an unhealthy mindset, you know, like for these young girls. Cause like, I mean, like, think about how fragile, you know, these young minds are. And if that's what
imagine if women go through it, multiply that times 10 for a teenage girl.
Okay.
If we struggle with it and we're not even, you know what I'm saying? We're like, I don't look like that. Or you see your boyfriend, your ex's new girlfriend, and she's thinner or something.
Right.
So multiply that times 10 and put that in a teenager's mind. You know, it's like, it's a bomb. It's a ticking time bomb.
It really
that's going to lead to anorexia or suicide or just unhealthy habits because they don't like what they see.
Right. I just, God, I'm just like, and like I see, and then the thing is like, I feel for these young girls and these young kids in general, anybody, like they're going through this with COVID now. And I'm over here like, it sucks, right? This shit is the ghetto. Earth is the ghetto right now.
Earth is super ghetto.
Girl, Earth is the ghetto. So it's like, but then we're grown, right? We grown as fuck in a sense. But like these kids, their prefrontal cortexes are not fully developed. So they don't actually have a fully developed brain to handle this shit, right?
No.
So I'm just like, man.
Which is why the suicide rate is up, which is why they're out here still in cars, which is why... because they have so much free time and they don't know what to do. And then the schools are fighting over their education.
I know.
White rich men are saying whether they should get a COVID test. Like, it's just their future's in other people's hands and they don't have control of anything.
Right.
And so I get it. I get why they're stressing and why they're sad and or getting into trouble.
Right.
Because I mean, look at like you said, we're in the ghetto right now. Just period, all over.
The ghetto.
Earth itself.
Earth itself. She going through it. That's why I'm always about sustainability, because she needs our fucking help right now.
She does.
And humans are just fucking it all up. I'm like, y'all, we need to fucking, like, it's just the ghetto. And I'm just like, man. And the thing is, like, I do think that though, having these conversations like we're having and like, you know, just even in like, and then just talking about it. And then also with your company and what you're standing for is so important. It's so important. And I'm so,
and it's therapeutic.
Yes, it really
therapeutic.
is.
For me and for everybody else.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I'm so proud of you, friend. Because I know that you, like I said, I've only known you to bust your ass to do shit. That's all I've known you for. You know, you've always been out here just
That's funny you say that because all my mom has known me is to nap. I like napping. She'd be like, you just sleep all damn day.
Duality, girl. Duality. You know what I'm saying?
I got that balance.
Okay, you gotta have that balance.
And now I'm gonna add that dick calendar in there.
Okay.
Like,
yes.
I got super balance. Like,
yes, you gonna see Laura's calendar. It's gonna be scene, dick.
It's gonna have that one
nap.
name just going down in between. And if he mess up, it's gonna have a second.
yes, scene, dick, nap. There we go. Yes,
that's it. And eat because I love some food. I got these curves for a reason.
I know that's right. Oh, bitch, yes. When I tell you, girl's been eating. Girl's been eating. I haven't been on the pole as much, so I'm just like, ooh, girl. I'm gonna have to go to you to get some scene, girl, because you know what I'm saying?
We're gonna do it. Okay. And the good thing is that scene is for women size 4 to 26.
I was just gonna say, like,
everyone.
Perfect. Okay, I was actually gonna ask you, like, what is your line and like who do you offer your products to, and like, what's your demographic?
So it's for women and it's also for transgender women, because a lot of the pieces that I pick, I am conscious of our transgender sisters who have not done their transformation yet.
Okay.
So I take that into consideration, and you'll see, like, if you check out my website, I have a transgender size chart right next to the regular size chart. Just so, because in all fairness, some transgender sisters don't, they don't have boobs yet and things like that. And so they don't need necessarily to get a 2X. Sometimes they need to go down. But I wanted to make sure that they felt seen too. That you feel seen just like our curvy women feel seen.
Yes. Look at that mission statement.
Yes.
Come on, mission statements.
Yeah, you gotta feel seen. That's all it was. My godbrother helped me come up with a name. He owns a Black Box Theater.
Okay. And wait, Black Box. Yeah.
His name's Eric.
Oh, nice. Okay.
That's my godbrother.
I was thinking about taking classes.
Yeah, great. He has like a melanin and something class. I think you should take it. Okay. It's a class all about Black, like being Black and acting Black and all this. It's great. Okay, and I've heard so many great reviews from it.
Okay.
But he asked me when I was picking a name, he said, well, the number one question I have is how do you want women to feel?
Uh-huh.
And I was like, you know what? My issue personally has always been I want it to be seen.
Oh.
When I walked into a bedroom with a man, I wanted to be seen for me. I didn't want him to look at me and hope I do what his ex does or hope I do what the porn says or whatever. I wanted him to see me.
Right.
And the first time I was telling my God, I said I'm going to give you TMI, bro. So brace yourself. And he's like, well, I said, the first time I was seen was actually last year in July. I had met this young guy. Now, understand, your scene moments don't have to be sexual. Your scene moments could be you were seen at work or whatever. Mine just happened to be in a sexual situation. Okay. And so I had just had a life-saving surgery because I had suffered with fibroid tumors and I almost died.
Bitch.
And they had to cut on the outside of my stomach. So I have all these like lines and stuff. My stomach is not the prettiest. And on top of having a fupa in a row, you know what I'm saying? And so this young boy, I'm like 36, he's 26.
Bitch, yes.
Yes.
You better get that young dick. Okay.
And we went to a hotel, whatever, and we had already, we had built up to this moment. And I was always conscious about my stomach. Like, oh my God, no guy has seen my stomach the way it looks now. And I remember going to the hotel, he came. And before we did anything, I came out lingerie. Number one, that was new for him because he's 26. And they don't see it often. So now you messing with a grown woman.
Yeah, that grown pussy. Let me tell you, young boy.
You know what I'm saying? I was ready. Okay. And then before we did anything, I stopped him and was like, I've had surgeries. My stomach is just not the cutest or whatever. And he stopped me. He was like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, I just wanted to warn you ahead of time. He said, warn me of what? I think I know, like, I'm seeing everything. And he's like, I don't have a problem with it. And the first action that he did was kiss me down in my stomach, kissed me all over I was like, you know what?
Praise that young man. Praise him.
Because he gave me this confident boost and then he told me when we were done and we were just chilling, he was like, can I tell you that those scars on your stomach just tell a story of the person that you are?
Ooh.
He was like, shit, you almost died. You made it. And now I'm here doing my thing with you. Like, And now he still calls sometimes. But that is the
girl, that's a good man, Savannah, right
he
there.
Still calls sometimes, you know what I'm saying?
Girl, you put it on him, you know.
Close to my age, but he still call, you know.
Hey, listen, you put that good pussy on him, he ain't going nowhere, okay?
Nowhere.
Okay, they still gonna call, okay?
Still, how you doing? I was just thinking of you. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Okay,
that was my most seen moment in this age at this time.
Okay.
And so I felt so seen at that moment. I was like, I want other women. I know other women struggle with that. You struggle with beauty standards. You struggle with the ideas of people before you in situations, whether it's work, school, relationships. And I said, you know, I want to give women a sense of just, if you can't see yourself, you can't ask other people to see you.
Amen, girl. That's so that's so real. That is so real. Fuck.
And that's what Seen is about, teaching you how to see yourself so that you can be seen.
Well, y'all heard it first, goddammit.
Period.
Y'all heard it first here. Okay.
I said that here. If I broke that down here first,
yes.
Okay.
Preach, girl. I mean, you guys, that is like that's the perfect way to end this segment. Cause honestly, like that, what a I can't even picture a better way. Like literally Seen, like, I'm so happy that you started this. I'm so happy you're doing things for yourself now, Lauren. Thank you for everything else you've done, in a sense, for like all our young bodies out there, you know, like with with Farfella Girl, and like all the things you're gonna do in the future. Like I'm just so proud of you, girl. That's my friend.
Thank you.
And I'm proud
to be here. You know what I'm saying?
And yes, thank you for sharing your story, honestly, guys. And I will put all of this in the show notes. You know, if you watch the visuals, you're gonna see everything on there. So if you guys can check out her website, but I'll give you some more time at the end to plug everything. We are gonna take a quick break before we go into our next segment.
Let's do it.
Okay, because I can't wait to get juicy with you. Okay.
Yes.
We'll be right back. Hey. Okay, so it's going to be the next segment now. We're gonna go into meditate, masturbate, medicate. What do you choose, girl? What do you choose?
Masturbate. Let's get saucy.
Yes.
I'm not here selling sex, so let's get saucy about this, okay?
I was gonna say, girl, I'm like, if you don't choose masturbate,
you don't choose that one.
Okay. I was like, this is just gonna be a perfect segue with Seen, and like, let's get into it. Let's get into it. So as you guys heard previously, your girl's out here doing her, getting dick appointments, you know what I'm saying? But there's got to be something you're doing for you too. What are your masturbation techniques? Like which have you switched it up because of like your new schedule now with having more time for yourself? Like have you like, you know, got into different toys and things like that? Like what is going on, girl? Like
slowly get into the toy aspect. Okay, so I was a virgin till I was 29. Let's start there.
I'm speechless, guys. I'm like,
let's put that you didn't know about.
I didn't know, Lauren.
Let's put that right there. I was a virgin till I was 29.
Lauren, I don't think we ever.
No, I'm only fresh in these streets for like 90.
Oh my God. Cannot believe that.
It's like been 8 years or something like that.
So then when I met you, we were in school and everything,
I was still a virgin.
I don't remember you ever saying that to us. That you really.
I didn't tell people.
No, you didn't.
I wasn't embarrassed of it or anything. I just
you were just so focused on other shit.
Yeah,
other
that's
people.
What it was. Wow. Now you see how busy my mom kept me. I couldn't even get dick until 29.
Did y'all hear that, girl? Did y'all hear that? Bitch, I've been so busy. I couldn't get no time for no dick till I was 29. Oh my God.
So let's start there.
Amazing.
Let's start there. That's like important. I had made a purity covenant as a teenager. I was trying to wait till marriage, but as I got older and I met this one guy at a Hennessy event, and he was
Hennessy event.
Yes,
come on, Hennessy event.
I was 29, he was 36, and he approached me and he said all the right things. And
girl,
we went in for it like 10 days later. And the thing is, I didn't tell him I was a virgin until a year later. So we had a whole year of situations. And I'll be honest, he's the one that kind of opened me up to masturbating, to figuring me out. And then again, I was raised by a realist. So when I was ready to have sex, I went to my mom and was like, yo, we need to get in depth now.
Okay.
And she was like, oh God, thank God you're gonna lose your virginity. Because at first my mom
Your mama said that? I'm done.
When I was 15, it was cute. By the time I was 21, she said she was like, oh, okay, she's serious. Okay. She said by 25, she was like, is my daughter ever gonna have a man, Lord? And so she encouraged it. She encouraged me to wait till marriage because it's what I wanted to do.
Okay.
It was new for her because she lost her virginity at 16.
Wow.
So to have a daughter that waited till she was 29, she was like, that was new for me. I didn't know how to, that was the part of your life I didn't know how to speak to it.
Wow. Amazing.
And so I went to my mom and she kind of just make sure you know what pleases you.
Right.
What's good for you. And so with him, I kind of took that journey into masturbating and just figuring out what pleased me, starting with my hands and things like that.
So you never touched yourself before 29?
I had, but not as aggressively as like when it was finally time to get it done. No.
Wow, girl. So you haven't experienced an orgasm?
No, not until 29. Not until him for the first time.
Well, girl, shout out to him for able to get there.
Let me tell you, that was mind blowing because I think our first date, he went down on me, but first date, and I was like blown away. Like, this is what this is.
This is what I've been missing out. Y'all didn't tell me this shit. Is what this is. Wait a minute.
I waited 10 days before I actually got the dick. You know what I'm saying? But and he never saw anything weird about it until like a year later. He was like, now that I go back over events, I can see it. But he was like, you came in here like you was just prepared, like you knew what you was doing. I'm like, yeah, because my mom was like, here, read this book. My mom is an information kind of person.
Okay.
You want to know? Read a book, figure it out.
Okay.
And so I took all that knowledge and I had it. So he thought, oh, she was this freak. No. Maybe now I am.
You were acting your ass off in there.
Acting my ass off. Like I took black box acting classes or something.
Okay, bitch. Because he had no idea.
But I had read how to do half of the shit. You know what I'm saying? And so
did you ever watch porn? Did you ever watch?
Yeah.
Okay.
I would, you know what?
But porn is not really, it's not real.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. It doesn't do much for me. But masturbating, like I do it. When I feel it come on, I just do it. Like,
do you have a toy? Do you like use your fingers?
No, I'm just getting into toys. Would you believe it? Because I was just so concentrating on the dick. Like that's all I wanted.
Yes, girl.
That's all I wanted. So I've only not been a virgin for 7 years.
Oh my God. Do y'all hear this?
7 years. But
you hear this unicorn right here?
I also was determined. I was talking to my mom earlier today. I said, Mom, what's weird is that when I lost my virginity, I decided I wanted to try everything. I wanted to try it all to know what I liked, what I didn't like. And that's kind of like what you do for masturbation. You try it all to see what you like, what you do, what's comfortable for you, what gets you there, what doesn't. And so I did that too within sex with partners. I tried a girl. I did a threesome. Like I tried, because I wanted to know what was I missing? What is all this that everybody talking about? So I'm gonna try it all.
I love that this bitch has not had sex since she was 29, and this bitch doing threesomes. You know what I'm saying? Going girl. I was like, bitch, I know that's. She's like, I'm gonna get this education, goddammit. Let me tell you,
I did it all, not with the same guy, but I did a 1 night stand, a 2 night stand. Like I wanted to see what all this was about. And see because I don't want to be later in life that I missed something.
Right.
And I don't want to cheat on anybody. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I want to be able to say, shit, I already did all that. So what you got? Like
let's do this, right? Let's do this.
You got to be on point. I'm just now like introducing toys into a situation with my sex partner.
Oh, okay.
So I'm slowly getting there to do it on my own. Mind you, I've encouraged my friends to buy toys for masturbating. So, and they have. So it's so backwards, right?
You are, girl. I just love it. It just makes you you. It just makes you uniquely you, like uniquely you. So shout out to you, girl. I'm over here like praising the fuck out of you, clapping like, because I mean, fucking fantastic that you've been out there and you've been really like experimenting. Because like you said, like
I did.
I applaud that so fucking much. Because I
grew
did
up in
my
church,
fair.
so that's a taboo.
Right. You grew up in
That's a
church.
taboo.
So that's right, exactly.
It's
So you've
something they
had
don't
your
talk
journey.
about, and it's a
Right.
sin. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
if it's a sin, and that's between me and God. Me ain't got nothing to do with none of y'all.
Listen, how do we get here, guys? We got here from fucking. So I mean,
period.
If God wants us to fuck, let's just be real.
And
he
we
wants
don't
us
know
to
if Adam and
procreate.
Eve was married. Like,
right. Okay.
they
Let's
was
not
just
even
two
get
niggas
into that.
in a garden. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. So let's just not even go there, guys. But I'm like over here
29.
like applauding you. I mean, okay, so can I recommend?
Been in this for 7 years,
girl. Okay, well, one thing, because I feel like this is gonna be like something that kind of like, because you're seeing like you're more into that holistic like lifestyle too, in a sense too, or like crystals and things like that. Like, I really love my crystal wand that I have. So it's just it's just a crystal wand. I will put it in the show notes to show you guys what it looks like. Chalk Rubs is like a very popular brand for that. And it's you can choose your own crystal that like kind of like really like resonates with you. Like a lot of people like rose quartz, you know, amethyst. My wand is aventurine, so it's green. It looks like jade. And when I tell you that I have like a connection with that thing, like with my bitch, like when I because like I'll tell you, like I never used to be able to have orgasms from penetration until I like kind of like started to train. And that's a real thing, guys. And I can't wait. One day I'm gonna bring a sex therapist on here. We're gonna talk all about that shit. You know, because I find that so fascinating, and I don't want people, I want the real shit to be out there, you know, in a sense. But and like your
want
story,
people to have the correct knowledge, not misinformation. Not misinformation about things. Yeah.
100,000%.
And I'll be honest, this is gonna be weird. One of my fellow girls, she's 21. She taught me how to. We recently had a conversation a year ago, and she was like, "Have you ever done sensory touching of yourself so that you can learn how to build up to an orgasm?" And I was like, I was sitting in her living room, like, "Well, what's that?" And because I didn't know. I was like, you gotta understand, you know, you was 15, you're 21 now. I've only been doing this for 7 years. You've been doing this for 10 already. Like, tell me.
Wow, yeah. Love it. Look at that full circle moment. You know?
And she sat there, she went and got a toy, and she like turned it on, showed us this powerful toy. Me and my friend Eloise was there. And she taught us about the sensory play of inserting, then letting it go. She said, and it kind of teaches you. It teaches you how to squirt. It teaches you how to hold back your orgasm.
Look at that.
And all that. Because I'm the type of person, I can have an orgasm if you're good. I can hit
Shout out to you, girl, because damn.
Yes. If you're not good, I can't.
Oh,
like the current guy, I can over and over again. Like there's no faking.
Multiple organs. Well, you deserve it, Lauren. Out of everybody, goddamn it, you waited till you were 20 goddamn 9 years old. This bitch deserves to squirt and multiple orgasms all day. I mean, you're late, girl. No, you're not. You're not late. You're actually not late.
I'm on time.
That's just your journey. Yeah, that's just your journey. Because honestly, if I could go back, girl, and go back to the moment where I lost mine, which I don't know, I think I was 19, 20 years old.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, technically, like that's a little bit whatever. It doesn't know.
It's a little
timeline.
There's
no timeline of
age. Yeah.
Girl, okay. But even then, like, dude, we know what the fuck we were doing? Absolutely not. You know, and I'll admit, girl, I'm still learning my shit.
To 29 because I was 29. I was well aware of the consequences, pregnant, STD, all that stuff, and I could handle it, whatever came with it. And then I had a 36-year-old that put it down and taught me everything I now know, and I sharpened those skills and use with someone else now. But
let me school you, young boy.
I did not have a bad experience for my first time. Right out the gate, this older man was sensitive to me and taught me about my body. And now I know me. Like,
and you over here with these 26-year-olds teaching them some things, you know, with your scene lingerie on. They over here like, oh, I'm not ready.
And that was before scene. I think I had Fashion Nova on.
Yes. Lay down, boy. Take this Fashion Nova real quick, okay? I'm not mad at it, girl. I'm not mad at it. Okay. So that's amazing. So it seems like you're still learning. You're on your journey too when it comes to toys. Same thing too. Like I feel like though in that sense, like there's always something to learn, right? And that's kind of why I have these segments, and I want to like chat with my guests and talk to them, whatever. Like I give them, obviously, because not everybody's comfortable with talking about sex or like masturbation. So I give them a nice,
I am.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So
but I love kind of
this.
evidence of the house I grew up in. As you can see, my mom was just comfortable talking about everything.
Yeah.
And she would do it. She would do it at various ages. So no, we weren't talking about how to give head at 15. But we sure was talking about it by the time I was 28, you know?
Girl, I
needed to know.
I still don't want that.
Now there is a toy that I recently bought that I'm using with my friend. It's called a tandem. Now this is a cock ring, but it's a vibrating cock ring.
Okay.
It only lasts for like 20 minutes. You can get it like from Target for like $10.
Okay.
It stretches, so it doesn't matter the size of the man, so that you can, and then you hit that button. What made me buy it was this funny as hell Facebook review from this Black man who he got it, and his wife got it, and he was like, he wrote a letter to the Tandem Trojan people and told them, how dare you create this? It's the devil. She put it on me. I bust a nut in like the first 3 strokes and all of this. So I was kind of like,
Well,
and so
girl, you better send me that link. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna get to you so you can show it here too. And I was like, And so I told my friend, so we using this? He was like, let's do it. And I was like, okay, I'm letting you know.
You ain't ready.
It's only 20 minutes of juice. That's why they're so cheap, because it's I don't think you can replace the battery. So it's only like $9. It lasts 20 minutes.
Okay.
You can turn it on and off.
Okay.
And go for it. So that's as close as I got to like first toy type of situation. Cute. But I am gonna look into what you said, the wand.
Yes, like it's definitely not a vibrating tool. It's gonna be your, it's gonna be from a stone, so it's gonna be heavy. It's gonna be, it's gonna be cold to the touch. So definitely, there's a ritual in a sense of like warming it so your body, so you're ready to receive it. There's 2 ends and things like that. I don't know. For me, it works amazing. Plus, I'm kind of weary when it comes to sex toys, when it comes to the plastics that they use and things like that. I like to do my research when it comes to like what I'm going to insert in my body or put on my body in that sense. But
I love that because of what I've been through with fibroids and stuff. That makes sense for me. Yeah, that makes sense for me.
Yeah. And then the thing is, like, at the same time too, like all these vibrating instruments that you're using, like that's a machine, you know what I'm saying? So you're kind of like giving your body like this unrealistic expectation.
Yes.
At least if it's your hands or a tool where like it's not mechanical. I feel like
that's why I love what you're telling me. That's why I love what you're telling me, because I think that's why I've been hesitant for toys, because
although you don't seem like you have a problem, girl. You don't seem like you have that problem.
No. I'm gonna do this little cock ring, but at the same time, I don't think in my personal stash that for me, I feel like there would be a disconnect.
Yes.
Between that toy and that penis, and I don't want that.
Right. Because they're different things, obviously.
Yeah, it's two different things, and it does different. 2 different things.
Oh, 100%.
He's not gonna be in there vibrating.
Just fucking like, I'm like, nigga, get off me. What you doing? Get your ass off me, vibrating and shit. What you doing over there? Just
you gonna call 911?
Right? Are you okay? Right? You having a seizure? Like, what is happening? Oh my god! Yes, girl. Yes. I will guess. I will send links and put links all in the show notes, guys, so you guys can see what the fuck we're talking about, because this is some juicy talk over here. We got talking over here, and
that's why I knew to be comfortable with you. I was like, I'm just gonna go for it. We're gonna get spicy.
Yes, I know. When Lauren literally, like, I reached out to her. I was like, girl, I want you on my podcast. Just let me know. And then she came up to me and was like, I'm ready now. I was like, oh
yeah, I was ready. Yeah. And then I was so happy. Talk about meditate, because I'm like, people would expect me to talk about that because of what I did with the girls. I didn't want to talk about medicate because I'm new to edibles. I've only been doing them for a year or anything, And
I got you, boo. I got you.
If we talking about them strong drugs at the hospital, hell yeah, I know about those, because I had to take them for the surgery.
Right.
But I was like, masturbate. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Let's do
That's it. Let's talk about it.
And then she did say she's new to edibles, so I'm really excited because I'm gonna gift her some things.
Yes.
I'm gonna send it to you, girl.
I'm gonna gift you something too, so you have to tell me your size.
Ooh, okay, bitch. I can't wait. Y'all gonna see it, girl. I'm gonna put a photo shoot. I'm gonna post it. I'm gonna post. Y'all gonna see my nipples and shit all out, my fucking ass and shit. I don't give a fuck. Like, I'll be on the pole wearing it. Yes, bitch. Yes. Yeah, girl. I got you. I will do it. Okay. I got a new pole. I'm gonna set it up soon. I'm about to get these videos back up and rolling.
I'm gonna actually send it out this week. So after we're finished here, you give me your information.
Beautiful. And I will do the same. I'm excited because we're gonna give each other that, a little bit of the
love.
That's
what it's about.
That's what it's all about, girl. I'm so happy that you came on the show. I like appreciate your knowledge, your storytelling, your history with like your companies. I appreciate you so much, Lauren. Like I said, to this day I still look up to you, girl, with everything you do. You're a hustling ass bitch.
Thank you.
I'm rooting for you like so much, like rooting.
And thank you for creating a platform, because I think number one, you yourself having this Black voice, but you know what I'm saying, being Blasian and being able to have a voice of two different ethnicities, like it's important to have a platform where people feel comfortable enough to come on and talk about the stuff that people didn't let them talk about growing up.
Girl, you said a word. I thank you.
And so you created a movement in and of itself where it's like, come on here and just simply be yourself.
Girl, be you. Let them titties swing. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck.
Kimbology, the whole thing of Kimbology is be yourself.
There you go.
When they're in your midst, that's all you want them to be. And so that's why I appreciate what you've built, and I'm cheering for you that this gets bigger and it attracts more than the 3,000. We're gonna multiply that 3,000 and keep it going.
Heard it. Yes, y'all heard it, y'all. That's right. Y'all share this episode, you know what I'm saying? Like, get seen, you know what I'm saying? Get you some scene, you know? And I actually picked a beautiful quote of the day for you too, girl. So let's get into that quote of the day, which is what I picked out. Here it is. Don't be afraid. Don't be ashamed. Don't ever apologize for your sexuality. Just be you. And that was by Sonya Deville.
You gotta send that to me.
Girl, wasn't that just what we were saying? God damn it.
Period. And I'm going to use that. In my boxes comes a affirmation card.
Yes, beautiful.
And so with every collection, I change the affirmation. And so I think I'm going to use that for my spring collection.
I will send it to you, boo-boo. It will be in this episode. I will use that. You will see it. I picked it for you because I figured it'd be perfect for everything we're talking about.
On Kimbology podcast on the card, so they know. As soon as they open the box, they're going to see that card with that quote and your podcast at the bottom. Because that's what I built, and that's what I wanted people to. Don't be unapologetic about who you are.
Amen, girl.
You don't owe nobody nothing.
We really don't. Listen, all I gotta do is wake up and just stay black and die. You know what I mean?
And die black. And my grandmother showed me that. She was like, I was born black, and honey, I'm gonna die black. Although I'm real light skinned. Like I'm gonna die black. Her. And she did just that at her own pace in her own time. And so I feel like if everybody could just live like her, unapologetic, and experience what you need to experience, and then die on your own terms.
That is a word, girl. I pray that that's my future too, because it sounds like your grandma lived it. And said, longevity. She said, let me go home. I'm ready.
I'm done. Beautiful. I've done it all. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Lauren.
Yet again
for being here. Please give us all your tags, your website, like promote yourself. This is the time if you want to just shout out anything you want to shout out. Let us know. On
Instagram, you can follow me at Scene Lingerie, and that's SEENLINGERIE, because some people be struggling with lingerie.
I'm not gonna lie, I was struggling with the typing in. I was like, I can't spell, y'all.
It's literally, if you say lingerie, it's literally how you say that, and you'll have all the letters you need. But at Scene Lingerie on Instagram. On Facebook, it's at Scene Chicago.
Okay.
And you'll find it. And then you can follow me, which is at Lauren_Tiffany. So LAUREN_TIFFANY. And that's my personal page, but it's open to the public. And I share everything. I don't hold back, and everything's about Scene and my upcoming Scene blog and things like that. So
love it. Thank you so much. And I will put all of this in the show notes, guys. It will be in the visuals as well, so you guys can check her new collection, and then the new collection that's coming out in spring.
And I'll send you some pictures of the current collection so that you can use them as visuals.
I would love that. We'll put them all in the visuals for the visuals for the YouTube. We want to see it because like she had some beautiful photos, guys. So I'll put that all in there and you guys can see it. And it will also be on my Instagram as well. Thank you for coming. And guys, thank you so much. As always, please leave a comment, subscribe, rate on Apple Podcasts. Reach out to me on Instagram, Kimbology Podcast, Twitter. I haven't touched my TikTok in a while, but Lord,
it's there.
Your girl's not on Clubhouse. I'm sorry. I can't. there's just so much. There's so much. And my homegirl Joy was like, "You on Clubhouse yet?" I'm like, "Girl, I can't keep up. There's just so much. There's so much." Okay, guys, I'm doing the best I can. We have a Facebook, Kimbology Podcast. I'm trying to, again, this community of just being open, being yourself, being unapologetically you, right? I want to form that community. Always send your Q&As, questions, whatever, to kimbologypodcast@gmail.com. And thanks again for joining me for this week. And Lauren, again, can't thank you enough. You're the shit. Your titties are looking good. Okay.
I'm always make sure that happens.
Okay. Titties are looking, they over there sitting pretty.
I'm always
Love
make
it.
sure that
Titties are sitting, girl. And yeah, thank you so much. And you guys, I'll see you guys next week. Say bye. Bye. Kimbo out.
Brought to you by the Rick Dog Network. Well, shoot the damn dog.